It is a beautiful day out here in sunny Seattle, and I'm gonna go ride the Sounder North. This, of course, involves riding the Link light rail from Capitol Hill, where I am, to the King Street station. These are really cool stations. They're massive, huge stations, all for light rail trams. And now we walk a little ways from that station over here to the Sounder station, where we'll get on the Sounder, which I am understandably thrilled about because this is one of the most beautiful commuter rail lines in North America. Now notice I said commuter rail. That's because they run 2 per day per direction. Luckily, things have improved and now Sounder runs 4 trains a day, but they're still only in peak directions, which is not ideal. So you only have those chances, and only on weekdays, of course. So I had a very limited opportunity to ride the train, and I got very lucky because it was foggy this morning, but now it is beautiful. And right there is where you enter. And it looks like one might be arriving down there. That might be my train. Well, it's definitely a way in, but I don't know if it is the best way in. The telltale sign of a Sounder North is if it has just 3 coaches, which this appears to. So this is likely our train. And over here we've got the Empire Builder. You can tell because it's just one locomotive, except another one elsewhere on its route. But here we go. We can see a Sounder South train pulling into the station. The South line runs much more frequently, but both run very much as a classic commuter rail, where there aren't that many trips and they typically operate in the peak direction. They're oriented around commuting, and they also only run on weekdays, so very much a classic commuter rail. The Sounder South line serves 9 stops and serves a much larger population than the Sounder North, which serves just 4 stops. The Sounder North's routing along the Puget Sound is what makes it such a beautiful ride, but it also essentially halves the catchment areas of the stations, so there are way less potential riders along the route. Compare this to the Sounder South line, where the catchment areas aren't cut in half by a body of water, so the route serves a much larger population. This here is my absolutely delighted, in my element phase. I'm having the best time. When I was a kid, I would have looked out at these houses and said that I wanted to live in one, and not much has changed. This is also a great ride for boat enjoyers. You get to see a bunch of the amazing, massive washdock car ferries. You pass a couple of ferry slips, and they are very cool to see. I really enjoy riding these. I've had a couple of chances to be out on the Puget Sound in them, and they are great. They're also totally worth your time if you can make it to Seattle. While we're riding along here, this might be a good time to think about the difference between commuter and regional rail. Regional rail trains, you can think of systems like the RER in Paris, or even the Long Island Railroad and Metro North in New York. Regional rail is usually useful to more people, so you get more riders on it. Commuter rail is really focused on taking people into city centers in the morning and taking them out of city centers in the evening. And so they are not as useful for most people because the majority of people are not 9-to-5 commuters, but some people are, and it's good that these services exist for those people. But the tracks are always there, the stations are always there, and it would be great if there were more service on these lines. Caltrain is a great example of regional rail in the United States. They run trains both directions all day. Based on the higher existing ridership and the larger area served with more people, the Sounder South is the right choice to turn into a regional rail style train, to add weekend service, to increase weekday frequencies. That would be where the focus would make the most sense. But the Sounder North definitely should continue to exist. It serves people as it is, and if nothing else, it's really an amazing ride. Puget Sound is such a beautiful sight to see. If you're in Seattle and you enjoy riding trains, you really should check this one out. It's really fantastic. Sounder North is definitely the most beautiful commuter rail that I've ridden on in North America. I've heard good things about the Metrolink Antelope Valley line, so I'll have to check that out at some point. But I kind of have a hard time imagining that being prettier than this. As you come into Everett and past this port, the train leaves the waterfront. You're only on the train for another maybe 5 to 10 minutes after leaving the waterfront before you get to the Everett station, which is the end of the line. The Sounder doesn't actually have level boarding, which is why they need to have these ramps that you see here that connect to a little raised part of the platform. It's good that they're there, but it'd be better if the whole thing was accessible. I am a huge fan of the Sound Transit paint scheme. It appears on their express buses, on the Link Light Rail, and here on the Sounder. It's really bright and colorful and fun, and it's on theme for being next to a big body of water. I like blues and greens and teals personally, so it really speaks to me in that way too. Altogether, it's just a really fantastic looking train.
All right, now the Sounder has left, and I'm now going to take one of these buses back to actual Seattle because they literally run 2 per day, and this train is now going to sit here and wait to leave tomorrow because this is America.
I had some time to kill, and so I explored the Everett train station building. I was really impressed. It had this grand interior and it had a beautiful exterior, had food services, restrooms, everything you could want in a train station. I just wish it had more trains.
I hope we get to ride a double-decker bus. I think that we do. Here's the 512. Google Maps lied, but that's okay. We'll forgive it. Thank you. I have it all to myself. Oh my goodness. And that means I get the front. Yes. One of the fun things about these is that I cannot stand up in them. I will demonstrate. It's not even close. If I go down a step, then I can stand. But once I get up here, absolutely not. Yeah, get the best seat in the house. My goodness, this is awesome. It's really reclined. Which, you know, oh, here's the lever. Carbon fiber accents. That is not carbon fiber, but this one can't recline. That's weird. And now we're gonna ride back, and just like that, we're off. And I'm still the only one up here. We can get a pretty good look at the Everett station here. On the relative scale of American commuter rail stations, not half bad.
Station, Bay 3.
And so there's a park and ride in the middle of the highway where the buses come and stop, which is a super interesting approach. Not a ton of people riding it in the reverse commute direction. If you could drive here, why wouldn't you just keep driving? Alright, now this is very cool. So here's our off-ramp here. We get our own special off-ramp, but look what's over there. Completed construction but not yet open extension of the Link Light Rail. So if I were to do this trip after August 30th, I would be able to get on the link right here, which is pretty awesome. That looks like it's where the route's gonna end from now until they extend it all the way to Everett, which is wild that they're building a train that goes the same distance as their commuter rail with LRVs, light rail vehicles. We're getting a very good view of the soon to be opened Linwood extension. Goes way up there on the hillside, and then it connects over there to this transit center. This is impressive. This is very impressive. That is a very, very tall viaduct. honestly a very comfortable and pain-free experience. Maybe the most frustrating parts are how much you get delayed by going off the freeway in some cases. But I mean, I didn't have to drive or rent a car, which had saved me a lot of money. That's why these things are good. All around, this somewhat ridiculous excursion turned out to be a great use of my time, and I'm very glad I went. Shout out to Sound Transit for being pretty darn good. I'm still the only person up here, which is, I don't know, I wish more people were riding it, but it is fun to have a $600,000 limousine all to yourself. There goes a light rail that I could have taken, but I'll just get the next one. They're pretty frequent. Goodbye. Check out this separated bike lane. Very good. This light is insanely long. We've been here for like 90 seconds. Absolutely crazy. What is going on? Oh, there we go. All I had to do was complain. And now treachery and danger await. Thank you. Altogether, a very successful mission. Now we're gonna get back on the link. It's so easy to evade fare in this system that I feel like I need to prove to you that I don't. There's no gates, and we're Americans. I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. Like, oh no! Oh wait, thank goodness. What did we learn today? The Sounder North Line is beautiful, the Sound Transit Express buses are quite good, and the Link Light Rail 1 line runs a great service. I've only had good experiences on transit in Seattle, and I can't wait to visit again.